garden today, and I still have my vape.
Are you trying to stop?
If I knew how, I would.
What do you think vaping is a symbol of these days?
Punk rock.
Is it?
I don't know. Someone said that AI is like punk rock.
In what sense?
Well, punk rock used to just need to know like 3 chords, and if you had something interesting to say, you could just scream it out. Like you didn't need to be the singer either. You know? So if you had interesting things, say rebelling against the system or something like that. Yeah. So I think AI is like that, because if you have a good idea, it doesn't matter if you're like the smartest or if you have the biggest team or whatever. You could just get AI to do it. Yeah.
To spit it out.
Yeah.
Have you... I'm not going to follow that thought.
What?
I'm interested to know more about you and your vaping, yeah.
Well, I was trying to sidetrack.
And you succeeded.
I don't know. I'm going to rehab. They probably won't allow me to have these. Probably, right?
Don't know. Is there nicotine in it?
Yeah, of course.
So they probably won't. They'll want to, don't know, get you off everything. No, I'm curious to know about the vape itself, because it's a relatively new phenomenon. Cigarettes have lost their sexy status symbol.
Well, this isn't sexy. This looks like a pacifier.
Right.
Some Freudian object or something. I don't know.
So how come so many kids are doing it?
Their mum didn't have enough time to breastfeed them. What?
Is that your theory?
I don't know. I know I had a... I shouldn't get into this. Maybe I should, because it's good for a podcast. I have a bad relationship with the breast.
Okay, how come?
Freudian shit. Well, I was breastfeeding for a while.
You were breastfeeding yourself, you were breastfed?
I was feeding on the breast.
Yes.
And my mum wanted me to stop, so she would put Vegemite on her nipple. And now if I smell Vegemite, ugh.
Is that a true story?
Yeah, it's a true story.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty Freudian.
So that's probably, Freud says that oral stage can fuck up you mentally, so my brain's probably fucked up.
We'll blame it on that.
Blame it on my mum.
So you have an aversion or a physical repulsion to Vegemite, but do you have the same reaction to boobs?
Well, no, I really like boobs, but I'm not gonna suck on them endlessly, you know. More bum guy.
I was not expecting that response.
Come on, Tabby.
You're making me blush.
Well, come on, Tabby. You have to know what podcast this is.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Okay. So you just like to spend a little bit of time there, but you're more of an ass man.
I don't even know what I was saying. I don't even mean that.
I know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you like to say things for the reaction.
Yeah.
I kind of resent the way that we've narrowed women's sexuality down to tits or ass.
I know. Well, what do you mean?
I'm a hand person.
A hand person. Yeah.
I find hands can be make or break for attraction.
Well, I think hands can definitely break. Definitely. Yeah, I think hands can break it. I don't know if you can make it. I don't know, there's some pretty hands. I guess you're
Well, it's not
But
necessarily.
isn't that like a fetish? Like a foot fetish?
It could be. To me, it's less about fetish and it's more about the stories.
It's better than a foot fetish. Like it's less weird. It's good to have.
Shouldn't have any judgment
Yeah.
in this podcast. No, I'm saying to me, hands tell a story about a person, about where they've been, the things they've made.
Oh.
It's not necessarily about aesthetics or fitting into, smoothness or some
Well,
kind
like
of.
palm reading.
Yeah, it's less about that.
Yeah.
Something that's a little bit hard to explain.
Mm.
I want some hands that have seen some shit, touch some shit.
Mm.
Not literal shit.
Mm.
I am pretty big on hand hygiene.
Mm. Have you heard of face reading?
No.
It's a TikTok trend.
Really?
And
Say more.
and they're like it's basically like the Chinese do it, but it's not like the Western one is kind of rooted in racism, so they're kind of talking in like racist like language without knowing it, but like it's a whole big thing where like you can instinctively know if it's a person is like a good person or a bad person or greedy or that thing just by like the way their facial features are.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that...
But I think like that also, that science also was used for like racism and like anti-Semitism as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's a school of thought that would say this Semitic nose, the hook nose can't be trusted.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Jew that can be trusted. I'm joking.
As someone who identifies as neurospicy, I guess the trope is that facial recognition or whatever is a little bit more difficult. Do you find that? Or not so much?
Well, maybe sometimes if I'm not feeling it, I guess. Yeah.
Sometimes you're
like if I'm in the train of thought and I'm like talking about something I'm interested in, like, I won't notice the facial expressions and the vibe that someone's putting up.
So you won't necessarily...
Or if I'm manic. Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah. You're saying you won't necessarily pick up on if someone is completely bored when you're going on one of your tangents.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily pick up on boredom. I feel like I have the opposite problem, like I'm constantly overanalyzing someone's facial expression and I think everyone hates me. Or everyone's bored.
Yeah, they do.
Has anyone told you you'd make a really great therapist? You did say once you'd like to offer your services as a different kind of therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think, because then if you come to me, you can't blame me if you're, I don't know, like, I'm not going to be like a shoulder to cry on, I guess. But I guess I could be, I don't know.
People would come in and you'd tell them that they're boring and that everyone hates them. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Which is the therapy people need, I think.
Do you think you need that sometimes?
Yeah. I think I do.
Really?
Sometimes, if I'm manic. Again. Yeah.
What happened to your cup? I noticed you didn't post the video about Kanye.
Oh no, the sound was removed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before you mentioned that you wanted to, it feels to me, correct me if I'm wrong, it feels to me like you're carrying a bit of, like...
Remorse for Kanye?
No.
Oh.
This has nothing to do with Kanye.
Oh. Because that's one of my special interests.
Kanye? Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess, like, it's a projective thing, I guess. It's also like it's like you can see how society's doing by how Kanye's doing, I guess. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's annoying. Kanye says it's like I hate having bipolar, it's awesome, you know? And I think like it's the same as being a Kanye fan. I hate being a Kanye fan, but like it's awesome, you know? Yeah.
See, that would make a brilliant little bite or a dopamine hit, as you call videos for social media. But you don't want to, quote, buy into that stuff. Do you feel like a sellout when you do something that's
just I don't wanna,
mainstream?
I don't want to drain people. Everything's draining people. Nothing requires, like, effort to watch. And, like nothing is, like, you watch for 5 minutes and then, like, you start getting bored and then you go. No, it's, like, something you need, like, push to watch and then, like, it's rewarding at the end, kind of. Push through.
So you want people to make an effort?
Yeah. Well, that's art. In the original days, like, you had to make an effort, I guess.
You had to make an effort and you wanted the audience to stop and make an effort and think for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of that stuff is made to get people to think for themselves.
More like get people to think what they want them to think.
Yeah.
And so that's why I try to be, like, quite lazy in my opinions, because, like, I don't want to try to be convincing or, like, try to convince people what to think, I guess. Or also be a devil's advocate and, like, no, it's like it's a different persona, so it's a different, like, you don't need to, like, always be authentic, because it's fiction, in a sense. Not fiction, but
No, I know, but why did you use the word lazy in your
lazy,
opinions?
not
Yeah, that's
lazy.
the wrong word.
Well, no,
in my
I just
opinion.
like the last video, I was trying to be entertaining by, like, taking a lazy way out of trying to talking about a topic, you know, like trying to be funny through lazy thinking, as in like bordering on rigid thinking, you know, like bordering on that kind of thinking, you know what I mean? Like like lazy rigid thinking, if that makes sense. Like I think a lot of the times people have offensive ideas because it's just like lazy thinking.
Laziness, because they're not making the effort to challenge themselves to think outside.
Or it just feels good, like in the gut, or even like their sense of self in terms of like sexual conquest, even, you know, like just sexual side of themselves, in a sense, if that makes sense. Like, I was playing this video game and I had to like finish this level about fascism, and I had to like answer what fascism is. Like, we went through all the definitions, but then it's like it's all about like hating women, basically. Yeah. In a sense.
Okay, I'm not joining the dots yet, but
Well,
I'm curious to know how those dots are joined for you, genuinely.
Well, what I mean is, like, what was I saying about? What I mean is,
You were talking about laziness and rigidity.
yeah. So I was saying that, the laziness and rigidity that makes people go towards like conservative or even fascist extreme opinions is like, I don't know, like either an affirmation of their sexual conquest or an underlying anxiety about their place like in the world.
Okay, I
So
think
a lot
I
of
get it now.
fascist movements are
Yeah.
about like the Jews were a threat because they like could make money with their brain and like and that everything was being industrialized so that like people would say still need to like attract a woman and this is the most pure way to do it. So like it's a lot of fascism is resentment towards women, I think. So like a lot of the racism and like the homophobia and that sort of stuff, I think it's related to hatred of women.
And a lot of conservatives or those extreme religious movements as well are all about repressing female sexuality.
Yeah.
So sex definitely does play into it.
Although in Judaism, it doesn't really restrict female sexuality that much, since like women can masturbate and men can't. You know.
There's nothing in there that says, "Hey, women, go ahead and masturbate."
Yeah, but I mean,
it's not encouraging.
Yeah, but you're allowed to. Men aren't. Like, there's a prohibition.
Okay, there's no prohibition, but there is repression of female sexuality in lots of other ways.
True.
True.
Yeah. I think like a different type of male gaze, we could say, you know what I mean?
Exactly.